All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. Welcome to the enrollment workshop. So, as the email said, you guys enroll next week, starting Monday. So very, very exciting. Oh, don't want to see stuff like that. So it is a process. So we want to help you with this. So Trevor and I have helped others before, so we kind of know how to do it. So I'm going to lead you step by step. If it's helpful, you can also open it on your screen if you're on a computer. I know some of you maybe are on like iPads or tablets or your phone, but if you can get another screen open and go to your student center, you can kind of go step by step. If you can't do that, that's totally fine. Trevor's actually going to do a demo after I show you all the steps, and that's where you can kind of follow along as well. So don't feel like you have to like open another window immediately. And we'll have questions after. And we're also going to have one-on-one help. So if you want to look through your degree planner, like get personalized help, we are definitely around. We'll have some time for that. Cool. Okay. So before you enroll, so like I said, once you go into your student center, on the right side, you're going to see like this box, this little column. This person they're a sophomore. They have lots of communications. You shouldn't have 40 communications, but you should have a couple. Always check those because those are updates from the school. But what I want you to focus on is your holds. So for you guys, you shouldn't have too many holds. It should be pretty empty, but sometimes like transcripts can hold you up. In this case, like this person needs their vaccine. So there shouldn't be anything. Please let me know if there is. If you do want to read more about it, you can always hit details and it'll tell you in depth about each hold. But you want to make sure you don't have any. Always check your to-do list. There's stuff, especially you guys have to do as freshmen. And then the most important thing is that enrollment date. So this person, like I said, is a sophomore. Their enrollment date was way earlier because they're a continuing student. But for you guys, it should say either June 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Everyone's varies. Everyone gets a different time. So you want to make sure that you log in on that day at that time. So, this is why we want you to prepare ahead of time. So you're not like flailing around and it's like, let's say you have to sign in at like 2:00 and it's like 1:59 and you're like, oh my gosh. So always make sure you log in beforehand. That way you can literally just hit enroll. Okay. Mark it down on your calendar too. I've had people do the wrong date and it's like super awkward. So like I said, step one, we're going to go to your degree planner. So on the left side, under academics, under your name, my view looks a little bit different, but it should look a little similar. So there should be a degree planner little link. So you want to get comfortable with your degree planner. This is what you're going to use if you haven't seen it yet. This is what you're going to use to basically plan your like 4 to 5 years here at Cal State San Marcos. So like you can even see into the future. But we're going to focus on fall 2021. If you ever do want to look at it, feel free. Like I always encourage students because I know it's a little scary, right? I just talked to someone about their high school and they were like, in high school, I just went to my counselor and they had a piece of paper and I chose my classes like a year before. So it is a little easier in high school. It's a little more straightforward. But here we have like some steps. You have tons of classes to choose from. So it does get a little more complex. So I want you to get comfortable. So I don't have the entire page because it's pretty long actually, but I have like a little section. So you should see something like this on your degree planner. At the top is like your major. It tells you like important, you have to take a certain math course because you all have to take math. I'll tell you updates. It's like, oh, enrollment starts like June 21st. So you can also check your degree planner to see what updates the school gives you. So the important thing I want to mention here, I'll move this out of the way. So you want to check your units. You should be taking, like this person's taking 16, but for you guys, you should take 12 to 15. That's full-time. So that's full-time status. So it's like a full-time job. So that just gives you the chance to get all your financial aid. If you go below 12, it's okay, but they will take away some of the money. And like, I don't want that to happen to you guys. I know you should get all the FAFSA that you need. So you want to make sure you're at least taking 12. A lot of you I've seen are taking like 13, 14. Totally fine. If you take more than 15, it's also okay, but you just don't want to go crazy with it. So to change your units, you can always do this later. You're going to go to edit preferences and you can change like the unit number. So this person's target units was 16. Yours is probably different, but you don't have to hit the target units. It just helps your degree planner figure out where they should put the classes. And then let's say like after looking at your degree planner, you're like, looking and you're like, I don't think I want to take this course, like this GE at this time. I want to take a language course instead. So you can actually arrange your plan and you can play around with it too. It won't like let you get too crazy. Like for example, this says do not drag this course to a different term. So this is math. Everybody needs math. You can't put that later. You need to do it as soon as you can. So when you go to arrange my plan, it actually won't let you. It'll give you a warning. So you can't like some people are like, I'm afraid to change around things because I'm afraid it's going to mess up my whole year. Degree planner has like built-in things to make sure that doesn't happen. And as always, you can always contact Trevor and I, and we can kind of look at your plan too before you make any like set changes. I mean, this is also a time just to look at your courses. So this person, I cut it off because there were other courses that they had to take, but it kind of gives you, like I said, a preview. And so you want to see what you're going to take before you take it. And it just helps you pick what you want to take. Okay, so this is where you get to select your courses. This is the exciting part. So here's another person, and this is their fall. You can see some of the courses are selected. So this math course, under course, it tells us this person has to take Math 101. So you cannot choose anything else. If you hit select, nothing will pop up. But for example, some courses you can choose. So like this language course here, this lifelong learning course here, you can actually hit select and it will give you a list. And I'll show you on the next page, like what that looks like. I will say though, for all of you, you all are freshmen. So there's going to be a bunch of GEs. Like this is your language C3 course. You can choose, there's tons of them, like there's Spanish, there's Arabic, there's German. So this is a little more narrow, but I'll show you one. Maybe Trevor can show us too, like one for like a history course or like humanities course. Sometimes there's these huge lists and so like you can filter through. So definitely gives you a chance to kind of see what courses there are. I will say for GEL, you all have to take, it says right here, for first year freshman students, you have to take GEL 101. So that's our transition course from high school to university, just to help you be successful here at Cal State San Marcos. So you will actually select that. You'll select GEL 101. There's other courses there, but they're not for freshmen. So I'm going to try and select a language course. So I hit select, and this is what popped up. Like I said, there's a lot of courses on here, and it can look a little confusing, but if you focus on beginning courses, so like 100, 101 courses, like let's say this person's like, oh, I want to take Spanish. Oh, you can take beginning Spanish. Oh, but I speak Spanish already. Okay, maybe you can take intermediate or Spanish 250 for heritage Spanish speakers. So it just depends on you, right? This is why you need to go to advising. You talk to Trevor and I. We can help you like narrow down what you want to take, like what counts. So that, like I said, this isn't a huge list. Sometimes it can get like a little crazy. You can actually filter. It's really, really cool. So just as for language, there's only one type, but I know sometimes for social studies and like humanities and arts, there'll be like a bunch of little subjects here. And like you just say, you're like, I want to do history. You would click on history and it would only show you the history courses. But in this case, I just was like, oh, okay. Like, let's say this person just wanted to do Spanish. They would click this little Spanish checkbox and it would only show the Spanish courses. To this point, make sure like you know what you're going to take, right? Like I had someone, they're like, oh, I want to take like beginning Arabic number 2. And I was like, have you taken Arabic like intro class? And they hadn't. So you don't want to like throw yourself in a course that's like not intro if you haven't taken it before. So you can also talk to us about that. So let's say you want to do one of these courses, let's say French, you would just hit the select button. And it does take a little while. Sometimes Degree Planner can be a little slow, but just be patient. Once you select it, it will put it on your Degree Planner. Okay, So once you select everything, it looks really nice. But from there, the point is now you want to choose what works for your schedule, right? Maybe you work, maybe you have family responsibilities. Maybe you're just, this is your first time getting to choose, right? In high school, you go to school, I don't know, from like 7 to 2 or like 8 to 3. With college, you get to pick your times, which is super helpful. And it's from a list. So I'm not saying like you can, like there are certain classes that are on certain days on certain times, but at least you can kind of choose. So that's the best part of college that I loved. So we want to schedule it. So back on Degree Planner, this is at the top. There's a button and it says Schedule Assist. And so when you click on that, it's going to open a new tab. And on that new tab, there's going to be a little thing and it's like, where do you want to schedule your classes? Make sure you're on the main campus and not anywhere else. And so it's going to take you like I'm pointing, we're online. It's going to take you to this little thing right here. Like I said, it's going to open a new tab. So make sure your pop-ups blockers off because sometimes that can be in the way and it gets blocked. But yeah, like I said, to plan your times and days. We're going to look at whether things are in person, hybrid, online, and the best part, who's teaching. So this is Schedule Assistant. This is like the main page. So to add courses from this, you're going to go down here. There's like a little blue box. And then it says, you know, your degree planner shows one course. You're going to click here. So it's like importing from all the courses you selected, and it's going to put it right here. And then from here, you can add a break. So people do this either if they have a job or they just, I've had someone say, I just don't want morning classes. I just don't want to go to school at like 7:30 in the morning. So if you click that, you can add when you don't want classes. And that way, when they generate a schedule for you, it's not going to put times that you blocked out. So this is the best part about Schedule Assistant. I know you can add courses by going to your shopping cart and like just search for courses, but I like Schedule Assistant because you can kind of filter what you want and what you don't want. And it shows you everything all at once, which is helpful. So to filter what like times, days, professors, section for each course, you're going to hit options. Oh, I'm supposed to point. There we go. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so you're going to click options. So when you click that, so I click this for Math 101. It's going to show you all the courses. So it showed me 21 sections, which is a lot. Basically, you're just going to look the most important things. How many seats are open? There's lots of seats for math. Who's the instructor? What days and times the courses are, where the courses are, right? If you guys haven't been to campus yet, you can still like look on Google Maps. That's what I do. You can see where everything is. So what I usually tell students is, like I said, this 7:30 a.m. class, the student's like, I don't want to take that. Okay, so you're going to uncheck it. So everything that's checked are classes you want to schedule in. If you click this one up here, it'll just uncheck everything. So if there's like tons of classes, like I looked up like a writing class and there was like almost 30 sections. I was like, oh my gosh. So you can like click that and it'll uncheck everything and then you just check what you want to do. So once you do that, there's like a little save button down here. You'll hit save and go back. And on the main page, under schedules, there'll be generate schedules and it's going to create a list for you. I want to mention really fast before we go into that, when you're looking at all the classes, this is how you're going to read it to figure out if your class is in person, is it hybrid, is it all online, is it both, right? Do I have to go only for exams? So there's lots of different things that are happening this semester. So this first one, it says it's asynchronous virtual. Okay, so it's online. But it also gives me a time and a building. So there's going to be asynchronous like things you need to do on your own. You're not going to meet, but maybe you have like assignments or homework. But because there's this time in the building, you're going to be meeting every Friday from this time to this time. So you want to make sure when you're looking at your classes, what works for you, because I know some of you are commuting, some of you are living on campus. Maybe some of you just want to do all online. You're not comfortable coming to campus. We totally get that. compared to this is the same course, by the way. So this is writing. This writing course is all asynchronous virtual. You don't meet at all. You don't meet in person. You don't meet for lecture. Everything's online. There's probably going to be message boards, all your assignments, you do at your own pace and you turn them in on deadlines. Sometimes professors, even though it's asynchronous, you don't meet at all, they'll say, let's meet like every 2 weeks just to check in. So it's up to the professor, but this lets us know it's not on campus. Look at this course. This course, it just tells us the days, the times, the building. So it's different, right, from this one. So this is definitely on campus, in person, face to face. Look at this one. This is what I mean. There's like so many different ways we're gonna do classes this year. It's crazy. So this one gives us 3 options, 4, and it says virtual. So that can be a little confusing. What this means is this course meets in person 3 times. And so when I see this, I know what it is. This is for a test. So a lot of math and science courses are going to have exams on campus. They're not going to do it online. So that's what this tells me. The rest of the course is taught Monday, Wednesday from 2:30 to 3:45, and it's going to be online. Oh, I also wanted to let you guys know, I didn't put it. So here it is. Okay. So if you want to see more info, like how I figured this out on my own, is I clicked the little icon, the little eye right next to it, and it told me the course meeting times. It told me, oh, on this Wednesday, you're meeting like, I don't know, it said like September 30th. I was like, oh, that's an exam. This one was like November. Oh, okay, these are all midterms. These are all the final exams and stuff. So always definitely look at the information and it'll tell you everything you need to know. Like I said, Trevor and I can meet with you too one-on-one and we could figure it out if you're like super confused. Okay, anyway, so back to when you're back on Schedule Assistant and you're looking at schedules, you can actually hover over that little magnifying glass and it'll show you a little preview. So it's just like, I didn't put it in here, but it was like a little section, not this in depth, but it'll show you like what this would look like. If you want to see the whole schedule, you hit view and it's going to show you this. So same thing, like, how many seats are open, if it's waitlisted, where it is it asynchronous, is it virtual, when is it till, and then like if you scroll down, it'll show you like this really nice weekly view, which I find really, really helpful rather than this list view. Okay, so let's say you really like the schedule. You're like, yeah, you know what? That's all, that looks good to me. What you're going to do is send it to your shopping cart. At the top of your page, where your schedule is, you're going to scroll up. It's going to say send to shopping cart. Once you click that, it's going to send all those courses to this page, which is your shopping cart page. This is where you can look for classes, by the way. If you like hit this, find classes, class search, and you put Math 101, you can do it one by one. It just takes a little longer. You can totally do that though. Anyway, once you're here, you're going to hit import cart and it's going to put all your classes here. And then from there, there'll be a button where it's like, hit next. And for each course, it's going to show you like the times, the days, all the information, the professor, and you'll hit next for each one. Finally, I'll take you to a final page and there'll be a little button down here. I'll say, click proceed to step 2 out of 3. And then I'll show you all your courses again. And then you click finish enrolling. And that's it. From there, you can check your student account, and it should be like, there should be a weekly class schedule link, but it should show up on your student account straight away. But you can also look at the weekly. Okay, well, first, let me ask, are there any questions? You can either unmute yourself or you can pop it in the chat and we can answer them.
I have a quick question about language.
Sure.
So I got my ability stamp for ASL and they said that's going to help me with college. So for my GTA for language, do I still have to take that course, or can I take a test to help, like, skip that class?
Did you take a course at like a college
No, in high school.
in
I'm
high
a freshman.
school? Okay. Um, it depends. So sometimes the courses at high school are like in conjunction with community colleges or other colleges, and they'll give you like units for it.
Mhm.
So we'll probably have to look into that for you. If did you get a certification?
I think so. I'll have to check. I've just been a lot really busy with like personal things.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, then we can definitely figure that out. Yeah, so a lot of you did take a language in high school, but unless you did it for units or like a certification, you have to take just one semester of it. So once you send your high school transcripts, that's why it's important to do it as soon as you can. They're not due till July, but if you do them early, we can see what you did and what counts for units at our college. That way we can advise you, oh, you don't have to take this course, you already took it. So we'll connect Angelina. We'll figure out if you do need to
Okay.
take that. Thanks for
Like
the
if
question, though.
something doesn't happen, could I just like go to Maricosta, like Palomar, and take like a placement, or like skip it and like have it transfer over? Would that work?
It depends on the community college, but yeah, you could totally do that. You can even take a course over there because I'm not gonna lie, it's cheaper. The units are cheaper at community college, so
Yeah.
you guys can definitely do that too. If you want to take it somewhere else, that's totally fine.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of
Just
course.
a student interjection, if I may, from
Yeah.
a student perspective. So usually when I would talk to people who didn't have to take a foreign language in college, I'd always be like, oh, well, how'd you do it? It's one of two things. So it's either they took an AP Spanish course or AP language course, or, and this one's a little less heard of, called the CLEP test, CLEP. Yeah, so the CLEP exam, you can actually take an exam that exempts you from, or it gives you college credits towards a class. It's a lot less heard of though, because no one really knows about it. But it's even put on by the same people that get put on SATs and stuff like that. So you can look into that. I know a couple of people that actually took CLEP exams and like tested out of like 3 classes that they didn't have to take it their freshman year. So I would definitely try to look into that if you're like, I don't want to take Spanish or some other foreign language again, because you've already taken it. So if you feel so inclined that you're like, yeah, I think I'm above it, you should probably try a CLEP test.
Was that for Cal State San Marcos? Just out of my curiosity.
Yes. Yeah. Cool. I met those people on campus. They were like, yeah, I took a CLEP test, and I was like, oh, I don't even know what that is. And they had tested out of, and they never had to take their foreign language.
Is that an acronym? What's the spelling?
CLEP. I put it in the chat just in case.
Okay.
But I mean, that's just something that I've come across in my time at university. That's not like actual advice.
Yeah, no, but it's good. So thank you, Enrique. Yeah, so there are ways, like for sure, AP does count. If you did an AP language course or AP anything, please let me know and submit those scores as soon as you can, because it probably counts and you don't have to take something. Yeah, the language is kind of iffy, so I don't know. I'm sure this is fine, but I don't know if you can do it at like another college, like take an assessment. But we can always find out for you. So yeah, thanks, Enrique. I didn't know about that either, to be honest. Cool. Are there any other questions before we do a demo? I see something in the chat. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Okay, cool. You can always send questions to us like afterwards if you're like, I have a really specific question. Like definitely send us something. But like I said, we'll make time to do something afterwards where we can help you one-on-one. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. And I am going to ask Trevor to do a little demo for us.
Cool. I will start sharing then. Cool. So can everyone see my CSUSM? My CSUSM?
Yes. Yes.
Cool. So cool. When you log in here, so this is where you register for your class and stuff. So you go to student, and everything that you need is going to be in your Student Center. So when you click Student Center, it'll bring you to this screen. Like she said earlier, you want to look at your holds first, see if there's any holds on your account and what you can do to kind of remedy them. And then you have your enrollment date, so your registration date when you can start signing up for classes. So as she said, the first kind of thing that you want to do when you get here is go to Degree Planner. And actually, my Degree Planner is a little bit different. Enrique, do you mind sharing just your Degree Planner part, and then I can share the rest of it? I know yours is not super comprehensive, but just to show them what it looks like.
Yeah, I sure can, boss. Yeah, I sure can. One sec. Duo is being annoying. All right, cool. All right, so, I mean, as Trevor was pointing out like 2 seconds ago, this would be this is not Degree Planner, Student Center. Then we're going to go to, it's pretty much my setup. It looks a little bit more extensive since I'm not graduated. And then this will be Degree Planner. Yeah, so mine's bare bones because hopefully next semester is my last semester. But yeah, so this is your Degree Planner, and so I'm assuming you're gonna want me to go around the schedule assist route, right?
I can do that after. I just wanted you to show them like, okay, there's your set of classes, and then are you able to edit any of your classes or no?
No.
Okay.
A little too far ahead, buddy.
A little too far. Right
yeah. But I mean, here's where you can actually go to arrange my plan, and you can actually assign different types or how many units or switch around classes if I had any left. Yeah, you can also set aside classes. I know that's something that no one ever talks about. But you can actually so I have to take CS 111. I've already taken it, but I took it at a community college. So basically how that would go about is you could, you can also add courses in case. So if any of you were trying to become like teachers or anything, you could actually go into the credential program. However, the credential program makes you have to take certain classes.
This is actually what I wanted you to show them. So this is nice.
Oh, okay, for sure. So yeah, so you would go here. And so like, for me, I had to take I have to take certain classes for my credential program. And so I would go in and I'd click social science, education. And I actually have to take these, not these ones, but I think it's not showing me the other ones because I've already taken them. But then you could like add a course and then select a reason for adding this course. And it could be personal growth, non-required preparation course, courses required for graduate, credential, or other programs. This is in case like there's anything that you're doing post bachelor's. So let's say I need it for my graduate degree. And so it'd actually end up in my fall 21. And then I would have to go in and like add this course to my actual schedule assistant.
Could you go back to add course again? I want to mention something.
Yeah.
So you're going to select, basically your semesters are all going to be filled up already with courses. And you'll see they're one of, and go back to the filter. Go back to the filter. So they're going to be of one of these requirements. See how listed are GEs. You need a GE C1, which is your art, your C2, which is humanities, C3, which is a mixture of arts and humanities, CA, which is your government, D is social science. So these are your GEs, and you'll have to take these along your major coursework. So you'll see those sprinkled throughout. And when you click on them, so let's say go California, the CA, the government one.
For sure.
Cool. So then if that's there, when you click on it, then the government classes that you can take will pop up, and you will select one of the specific ones. So you can actually like for instance, you could take history as part of your government courses, and that's something that everyone needs to take as a history course. So select history. And then, so he already took either 130 or 131, but it would show the courses. You could actually select the ones that you would need from there. So thank you.
By the way, I just like to mention that this is adding a course, so this is a different setup than
It's slightly
what we were
different
talking about.
setup, but so okay, go back to the
Yeah, so this is for especially when you meet with someone to talk about your schedule and stuff, or just your next like 4 to 5 years here. They can also add your advisor, like myself, I can add a course
This
for
is
you.
true.
So if you're like
Yeah.
worried, like, oh, I don't want to add it, and then do I really have to take it? Like Enrique say, you want to make sure when you add a course to your degree planner that you really need it. Another good example of someone using this feature are pre-med or pre-health. There's a lot of things. Maybe you're like a chem major. As a pre-health major to go to med school or to be a dentist, they want you to take like anatomy. They want you to take like a different chemistry. So that's a really good example of where you would have to add a course because it's not going to be on your degree planner because that's not your major, right? Your major isn't pre-health or medicine. It's like chemistry or something. So that's another good reason. Yeah, for sure, talk to an advisor before you add courses, unless you, and like Enrique said, maybe you joined another program or like you're doing a certification and they tell you to add a course. Cool.
Yeah.
yeah, you can share the shopping cart. Oh, okay, no, I got it.
Yes, I will do that.
It's more interesting with more than 2 classes.
Hey man, I barely have like 4. So you're gonna open Schedule Assistant. And so for the most part, everyone's gonna be at the main campus, unless you're in extended learning, but I don't think anyone here is in extended learning.
Yeah, no, select main campus for that.
Yeah.
No.
So when you had stuff in your degree planner, right? So like, let's say all of this was gone. Let's like remove all that. It would make
Good
more
note.
sense. Okay. So we're gonna do that. All right. So you're gonna go to add a course, and you go by degree planner. And since I currently have no active plans in my degree planner, there would actually be a button saying degree planner ? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And you would just have a bunch of classes here, and then you would press add. And so, like, let's do a dummy course. Let's do some form of math. All right, let's go 101. Let's go add course. And so now it turns up in my desired courses, right? So then I added a course, and then I press done, right? And so now in my courses, that's going to pop up. You would say generate schedule. And it shows me 16 schedules that fit my my schedule, I guess. And like, let's say we had a couple more classes. Actually, let's just do physical education for now. Okay, so actually it turns out there's nothing I can do because they all conflict, but I think it's because of sleep. There we go. Okay. All right. So there's basically like 21 schedules that I can pick from that all show different places where I could take Math 101 and physical education at the exact same time. One thing I'd like to note is that you can actually go in and go into options. And like, let's say that you're definitely not waking up at 7:30 in the morning. You can actually delete some of those courses and say you're not even about 8:30 in the morning. Right? It's just like, man, no way I'm waking up that early. Save, close. And now you can narrow it down a little bit more.
Awesome.
And I guess my last thing to note is that, like, let's say if you had work, right? Let's say you had work and you're like, oh man, I have work on like Tuesdays and Thursdays. Like, that's for sure. You can actually add breaks. And like, let's say 8 a.m. or let's say 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Say add break. Now it just doesn't happen because, I mean, you took off all of Thursday. Why would you do that? Let's do 12 p.m.
I think you need.
All right.
Yeah.
Boom. All right, cool. So now, in addition to your break, and we can actually show that on a bigger scale. So I take physical education in the morning, math 101 during Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then I would have all of this time for work because it blocks it out for you. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, and then could you show it, sending it to your shopping cart?
So this button, once you found a schedule that you're really like, oh yeah, I'm about this, you're gonna send it to your shopping cart to continue, and it'll take you back, and you technically went for fall. And then this button will appear that says import cart. And you're like, yeah, I like this. And if it's yellow, or there's what's it called?
Blue.
A class cap or something like that, you would hit the waitlist button. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really important. Thank you, Enrique. Yeah, if it's a yellow triangle, that means it's waitlisted. You can see it right there. Yeah, it says at the top. Yeah, so you want to make sure you check that box, because if you don't, it's not going to put you on the wait list. So thank you for showing that.
Yeah, no problem. I'm waitlisted for PE because I'm not a kinese major, so I get for So proceed to step 2 of 3. And then you would just hit finish enrolling. And this is gonna, I don't think I'm allowed to enroll.
No, no, you're good.
We're good. Press it. Oh my gosh, look at me, I enrolled.
Now you're in Math 101.
Now I'm in Math 101. Sick. All right, so I go back to my class schedule, and now I'm in Math 101. Let's go to add. Oh, oops. Cancel.
So I think that's all we needed. We'll let Enrique drop that course.
Yeah, please don't take Math 101.
I'll get around to it, you know.
All right, thank you so much, Enrique.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. I'm glad you came. You have a little more detailed view than what I get.
Yeah, I got to enroll in Math 101. Super stoked.
Wow.
I hear that class is really hard, so you should take the summer
early start
program. Yeah, I wouldn't advise.
Right. Okay, so we have some time, so I'm actually gonna stop recording. But yeah, thank you for coming. I'll upload this and you guys can watch it again.